Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite talk show, Bahrain Now, with me, your host, Bara Abdallah. We've got a great show lined up, full of local talents, initiatives, and happenings from around the island. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. A young avid traveler, writer, musician, and a content creator, his hobbies allow him to have a unique life experiences, if I may say, that serves his creative inspirations. His unwavering passion and drive have led to the formation of Carolina Mir. Over the last decade, has worked with several regional international brands. With us in the studio as well himself is the creative person, Hamza Farouk, the CEO and founder of Carolina Mir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, great, man. I just seen your work and very, I would say, contemporary, a little bit of everything. And I look at it, I'm like, I'm staring at this for more than a minute. Wow. Good stuff. Tell us more about Carolina Mir.
So I've been in the creative industry for almost a decade now, and I've worked in all the big agencies. I've worked in retail brands. I've worked in F&B, hospitality. Even before I graduated, I was still in college. I was in university. I used to call up like big brands that I loved, like Adidas, and I'd be like, "Hey, can I work here? I'll do it for free."
Wow, you've been busy.
Yeah, I was just like, just let me get on the inside. I just want to see what you guys do. I want to be a part of it. So I've always been very passionate about creativity, art, and I knew that when I was older, this is what I would be doing. So that's where it comes from. Like it's been since I was very young. Like art has always been my thing.
Oh wow! The thing is, your art is, I wouldn't say stuck to a certain genre. It seems that you just have no limits.
Yeah, I would say so. Like we don't want to be tied down. That's one of the reasons that I started this creative agency. I am not the person that creates the art though.
Okay.
So I manage the business, and my co-founder and partner, Carolina, is the one who creates most of the stuff.
Okay.
But the way our agency functions, it's very different and it's very unorthodox.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, people are quite shocked when they hear me say this, that we started this agency because we want to keep a high quality of client servicing, but we also want to have a high quality of work. Like when someone sees our work, it needs to have the Carolina Mir signature.
Okay.
So if someone comes up to me and says, "Hey, I want you to do our logo," or "I want you to manage our marketing," it's not as simple as I'll give you a price and we're good to go. I need to have a sit down with you. I need to know your vision, your vibe. Are you going to gel well with our team? Because it's really important that the work that we put out, we have to be really passionate about it. We have to love what we do. And that's the reason I started this agency. It's because I want people to love what we do. I want to love what I do.
Okay.
I don't want it to turn into another corporate agency.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how long has it been for Carolina Mir?
So officially we kicked off this March.
Okay.
But I spent the last year just networking, freelancing, saving up some money, making some contacts. Like, I quit my job last year in July. And then from then on, I was just planning and building and saving, planning and building and saving. And then finally it was time in March for us to go live.
What made you actually open up the agency itself? I mean, I know you have a lot of passion and inspirations and you have all the connections, and the right thing to do was definitely open Carolina Mir. Yeah. But what was that inspirational point? Like, you know what? I'm going to have it. That's it. I'm going to have an agency.
So I've always dreamed of working in the creative industry. And as soon as I graduated, I've worked at a bunch of different places. I've been on the corporate side. I've been on the agency side. And, it's like when you're a teenager or you're a child or you're in university, you have this vision or dream that once you graduate, I'm going to do all this cool stuff and it's going to be a lot of fun. And then I had my first job, and then my second job, and my third job, and I went to creative agencies. And I was like, you know what? It's not like I imagined. Like when you're at a creative agency from the outside, people think, oh, it's really creative and it's fun, but then it's really corporate on the inside. Like people are in shirts and pants and they don't seem motivated. They seem depressed. They're not getting that opportunity to create the kind of things that they want. And I was just sitting at my desk one day and I was like, this isn't what I signed up for. And I've gone from one place to another and I can't find what I want. So you know what? I'm going to create it. Okay. And so I always say that Carolina Mir is not just a creative agency. It's a platform for people like me that wanted to find their place in the world but couldn't. And just to tell you a bit about our work culture, this company started in my bedroom.
Okay.
But now we are a team of 4.
Amazing.
And we call ourselves, the company was initially called Digital Nomads, because that's the lifestyle that I represent.
Digital nomads, okay.
Digital Nomads. But then we rebranded. And there's a very strong story behind that, because I personally have backpacked 20 countries. Nothing but one bag on my back, no hotels, no expensive flights.
How many countries?
20.
20.
20, yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I don't stay in hotels or anything. I live with locals. I like to understand the culture, the food. So I really like to absorb all of that. And to give you an example, one of our content managers, she's from Bahrain,
Yes.
but she's working out of Istanbul, Turkey.
Wow.
And another content manager is flying to Dubai this Friday because she needs a change of scenery. So I said, go for it. Whatever keeps that passion and creativity going.
I need to work for you.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely do. Carolina was in France and now she's in Portugal. She was in Bahrain a couple of weeks before that.
Okay.
I'm going to London in the next 10, 15 days.
Okay.
So we have this really eccentric work culture. Everyone's very adventurous. Everyone's very excited. I've learned a lot of things. Like when you work at a lot of different places, it's not just what you should do, but what you should not do. And I was like, I'm going to make this the most awesome place to work. No, once you join, you do not want to leave.
Definitely.
I really care for the people that work with me. I never say work for me. I hate saying work for me.
Okay.
I always say work with me. I believe
with me.
everyone is on an equal footing. And I want them to have a big smile on their face every time they come into the office. So if it's Thursday and I bring in donuts, or I give someone a spa day randomly in the middle of the month,
Right.
like we're still a new company, but I make sure that I put my expenses where it's making people happy.
Wait, amazing. Wow, it made me smile just hearing your story, let alone what's happening in the office itself.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is with creative agencies, and I think maybe you would agree with me on this, but let me know what you think. Some say it's a dime a dozen right now, right? It's like we're getting oversaturated with a lot of agencies. Everybody has like all these design agencies going on, and freelancers, and you get the companies. But then what really makes you stand out from others is the way you work, the way you present your work. So the question I would like to ask is what would separate you from the others? Is it your workplace is amazing, the culture itself, but what about your end results, the products themselves, the designs?
I can very confidently say that if you call up any one of my clients, I've said this 100 times. People keep telling me that there's creative agencies pop up every day.
Right.
In every apartment, you need a virtual CR, and
right.
That's it. But, like I said, we don't work with just anyone. We aren't suppliers, we're business partners. The most important thing for me is to build a relationship.
Right.
I understand how, every one of my clients, I understand how their business works. I know their situation financially. I'm invested in growing their business. It's not just what I'm making. I have if you call up any one of my clients, they'll say, Hamza is here every other day to talk business, but not for himself, to help us grow our business.
Amazing.
And that's the proof. I was in the office the other day and someone actually asked me, he's like, how often do you see your clients? And I was like, as much as I need to, because I'm their support. I need to help them and guide them in places that they don't know. And in this day and age, marketing is so important. They're my partners. They're not just my clients, they're my partners. I know them personally,
Wow.
And that's what separates us. It's the relationships that we build. It's the quality of service that we provide to our clients. We're always there for them.
Amazing.
And because of that, they're always there for us. But at the same time, besides the service, like you said, anyone can be a creative designer. I'm very proud of our creative team. So it's like Charlie's Angels. I've got 3 girls.
Right, let's go.
So there's Ria, who's the
And
content
Charlie?
Yeah, you could call me Charlie.
Okay. Hi, Charlie.
So there's Ria, content manager, super smart,
Okay.
super creative, does amazing strategies. There's Sandra, who's in Istanbul right now.
Okay.
Clients love the way she writes Arabic. She's a photographer, a content creator, an artist, a graphic designer. She writes amazing poetry in Arabic.
Man.
And then we have Carolina, who's an amazing creative director who's worked with Adidas, Coca-Cola, David Bowie. She's made album covers in Universal Music Group. So we're a really eccentric bunch of people. And just to tell you how different the work that we do is,
Right.
we specialize in collage art.
Okay.
Which means Carol physically cuts out pictures from magazines and photographs and things that she sees on the wall in the street.
Wow.
We put that stuff on a chart paper, we digitalize it, and then
Okay.
we create our designs.
Man.
So you don't see any templates, you don't see anything of Shutterstock. We make things with our blood, sweat, and tears from scratch.
Yeah.
Everything you get is unique.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, Beautiful story.
Thank
And
you.
apparently, you guys have a lot going on, and I can only imagine what an exciting future you have. So,
Thank you.
it's been inspirational, definitely. But if you're gonna leave us with a few last words, what would that be?
A few last words. You hit me on the spot.
Believe in yourself.
I really didn't think of that answer.
Well, okay. Well, you inspired us enough, but if you're gonna leave us like with a few words, of inspiration.
Well, if I had to say something, I guess it should be a message to all the entrepreneurs, or not even entrepreneurs, people who are dreaming to do something but think it's too late, or they're not capable. Like, I come from a family of doctors. Everyone's a doctor. I was the one guy that said, nah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
I'm gonna go into marketing or finance. Initially, it was finance. That didn't
Okay.
work out, so I went into marketing. And then everyone questioned what I did for so many years. And then everyone always said, like, the safest way to do things is get a job, work that job. At some point, when you're 50 or 60,
You'll retire
you'll
somewhere.
retire or you'll be happy. And I was like, it's not happening.
No,
No.
no.
I don't
totally agree.
see myself in that position, and it's scary. What I do is really scary. I think every entrepreneur feels some kind of an anxiety or panic or pressure or stress. There's always those nights where you're wondering, is this going to work out? But then every time I step into the office and I see the work that we're doing and the people that we're working with, and I was like, you know,
Right.
we can make this happen.
Awesome.
Like-
Awesome. Well, big shout out to your team. Big shout out to every member of Bahrain
Thank you.
Now. And I think need to pass by just to get the
Sure.
vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Is there one thing that we can, it's off script, there's one thing that I want to mention though.
Okay.
Okay, so as an agency that was started in my bedroom with
Sure.
like no resources, no office, no capital, no investment, nothing. It was just us and our creativity.
Okay.
We are the regional creative agency for Gosh Arabia, international cosmetics brand from Copenhagen.
Wow,
We
wow.
manage them in Bahrain, Saudi, Oman, and the UAE.
Pretty busy.
The same for Deborah Milano, which is an Italian brand.
Wow.
We just signed on for Awaler, which is going to be the largest e-commerce cosmetics platform in the Middle East.
Brilliant.
And this all happened from my bedroom. It was after this that we said, okay, let's start expanding. Let's get an office. Let's hire more people. But that's just it. And all of this came through networking conversations. I have never made a business call in my life.
Amazing, man.
I've never called anyone and said, hey, check out our work.
Right.
People have just had conversations with me, or they've seen a project that we've done, and every client recommended the next client,
Man,
and that's how we work.
beautiful stuff. Well, pretty much we learned a lot.
Thank you.
Small talk, but I can only imagine what's going to happen in the future. Well, you know what? Thank you so much for this inspirational talk. A lot of positive vibes. Thank you so much for
Thank
this
you.
talk and
Thank
for
you
this
for having
gathering.
me.
And we're going to pass you by for sure.
100%. I look forward to it.
Definitely. Pleasure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Carolina Mir started off out of a bedroom all the way to the planet Earth. And ladies and gentlemen, more coming up right here. So stay tuned. Bahrain Now. Young Bahrainis continue to stand out with their prominent ideas as they expand and lead a successful initiative which serves the country. With us in the studio is Badr Mdefa, co-founder of Khosh Fikra. Well, good evening.
Thank you for having me, Bara.
Oh, definitely. And may I say, it is a beautiful Khosh Fikra with Khosh Fikra. I love that.
We
Definitely.
get that a lot, definitely.
So, did you trademark it by any way? Because it's an amazing name.
Maybe we did. Maybe it's in the process.
Okay, great. Khosh Fikra can be not only the pockets you're doing, but tell me more about it.
So Khosh Fikra is a lot of things, really. And it's a podcast, it's an Instagram account, we do events, we manage Instagram accounts as well for other businesses. So we exist in a lot of different fields.
Amazing. So pretty much very busy, I would say.
Definitely.
And it's not, let alone the events you've been doing as well on the side.
Yeah, it has been an amazing experience so far.
Amazing.
But I feel like the reason we started it, and definitely there's a lot of reasons, but I believe the main reason we started Khosh Fikra is because we found a gap in the market. And coincidentally, that gap kind of aligned with all our individual values and passions as the co-founders.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's
Because
awesome.
Bara, I'm sure you know this, but there isn't much Arabic content about entrepreneurship.
Not as much as we would like to have here in Bahrain.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right.
And sure, there's a lot of English content everywhere
Oh,
about the stories of success of many entrepreneurs such
Totally.
as Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and other Western entrepreneurs.
right.
But what was missing is basically business content in relation to the GCC. And that's what we decided to focus on exactly.
Wow.
And I guess it was just a match made in heaven.
I love that. I mean, I actually went through the Instagram account and I learned one or two things like Lulu Hypermarket
Yeah.
and how they started and a lot of stories. I mean, the way you put it together is concise, at the same time summarized, but very productive. And like, I learned a lot
Yeah.
from these few words. I mean, the way you put it together, you summarize it, is just brilliant. The last one I've seen was Farhad Janahi talking about the crypto and
Yeah, that's
investment.
the
That was pretty
latest
funny,
one.
but that was great stuff. So do you have like an entire team helping you, like with putting the information together and designing it and putting it out there?
Actually, it's just the team. Abdullah, Wasan, and I were just 3 co-founders, and we've been working really hard. And honestly, working is a strong word because
Right.
we love it so much, it doesn't even feel like
It's not
work.
work
We love
anymore, right?
researching these things. Where else would you see a post about Chips Aman or KDD products
Right.
or Jasmine's?
Right.
Only on Khosh Fikra. So we love being that unique medium of information.
I mean, yes, we've lived so long, like seeing these brands, like you just mentioned, Chips Salmon or Jasmine's and all of them, even Jam Burger at this point.
Yeah.
Like, but the thing is, you don't know much about what's the business model that you've
Yeah.
been following and made them who they are up until now for all these years, right?
Yeah.
Lulu Hypermarket, and even you guys took pretty much what's happening on a local, regional, and international level with all the information. So it's just brilliant. But then, how did you start? Did you start with the Instagram account, the podcast? Where was your start?
So basically, we started approximately at the beginning of 2021.
Okay.
And since then, we've been able to launch 2 seasons of our podcast, and where we share the stories of local entrepreneurs. And that was able to receive the #1 entrepreneurship podcast in Bahrain.
Amazing.
We've been able to rally a follower base of around 17,000 people,
Awesome.
recurring advertisement revenue.
Awesome.
But it all started with the podcast.
Right. Which is interesting because, you know, when you say podcast, like, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of people seem to have that there's much of a challenge having a podcast, especially in Bahrain, right? I mean, a lot of podcasters are trying to get out there, you
Yeah.
know, they talk, it's freeing, it's awesome, it's beautiful. At the same time, it's, I would say, casual, but
Yeah.
yet so rich with information because it's just
Definitely.
2 individuals or more talking about certain topics and they just let it out there. But a lot of people see it that it's a challenge to have a podcast here, but not for you. You guys changed the game. What
Yeah.
happened there?
I feel like it was definitely a challenge at first. It requires a lot of courage, a lot of preparation. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, things you might not usually see. It's more than just a mic and 2 people talking.
Right.
There's a lot of preparation behind it. But I feel like the thing that has always helped Khosh Fikra is its foundation. Because like anything great being built, whether a building, a country, a business, it's all about the foundation.
Right.
Because without the right foundation, eventual collapse is inevitable. And with our foundation, we have 2 main pillars. This is the thing that allowed us to kind of succeed as Khosh Fikra. It was our value-centric approach that we carry with us in everything we do, whether a podcast, a piece of Instagram content, an event, and of course, the team. The team itself,
Wow.
the team that kind of took this business from A to Z in such a short amount of time. And I love to give credit where credit is due. Abdullah Ahmadi and Wasan Yusuf are definitely some of the brightest and
Amazing.
most intelligent, most creative, resilient young Bahrainis I've ever had the pleasure of working with. And when it comes to Khosh Fikra's success and how we were able to go from there to here, they deserve a lot, if not most of the credit.
Well, big shout out to them, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Now, one of the things I got to know that having all that together, coming together with the project itself of Khosh Fikra, you guys had to face with the challenge of the final year of
Yeah.
university. So was that a little bit pressuring and overwhelming?
Definitely. When we first started Khosh Fikra, Abdullah Ahmadi and myself were final year university students,
Wow.
and Wasan was just a fresh graduate just starting our career. So obviously, as everyone knows, those are some very demanding years. You'll need to focus on exams, or you're trying to get a job,
Right.
or build your reputation in the workplace.
Right.
But what we found is when you have a group of individuals that are so proactive, so up for the challenge, so excited and passionate, it's only a hurdle in the way.
Wow, wow. The thing is, what's happening right now, like you said, is that there is a change of mindset with a lot of the youth in Bahrain, in the sense that a lot of them right now, they're out there to become entrepreneurs. The whole thing, the term entrepreneur is more attractive right now than employee.
Definitely.
To a lot. Was that the same thing for you as well?
I think in this common age, there's definitely a push and a promotion towards entrepreneurship.
Right.
It's cool, it's hip right now.
It is cool and hip, right?
And honestly, there has never been a better time and an easier time to become an entrepreneur in Bahrain. I mean, the startup ecosystem is just so welcoming and so exciting right now. There's so many hot businesses and startups, so many innovative entrepreneurs, and even Bahrain is doing all the right things to kind of support and promote entrepreneurship from an education aspect all the way to a support aspect, which is available on every level for entrepreneurs.
Amazing. I mean, back in my time, I would say, I'm not that old. But what happened is that the only thing we had in mind is once we graduate, that's it, just find a job. Get yourself connected, you know, who do you know here, do you know there, you know, and that's your family gets involved, that kind of stuff. And now it seems so different. People, when they graduate, they really want to harness everything they learned and they want to put that on the battlefield and make something out of it, not necessarily being an employee, but to bring up some ideas. And like you said, we have a lot of initiatives going on here, from Temkeen to the Hub and other amazing stuff taking place as well here in Bahrain. Now, talking about your project, Khosh Fikra, a lot of people will say, oh, well, you know, it's just a side business, but not really.
Not really.
This is your main. From a podcast to managing Instagram accounts, having your own account as well in other projects. So is that keeping you busy right now and pretty much, let's say, paying the bills?
Definitely. To be honest, this past year has been the busiest year of my life. I've worked so hard to complete my law degree. I've worked in different law firms, pro bono clinics, startups, and even with Khosh Fikra. But if I were to reflect right now, I kind of look back at the experience. It has definitely been life-changing. I mean, the people I've met, the lessons I've learned, the skills I've developed, Khosh Fikra just added so much to me. Every obstacle, every challenge, every success, every failure, it shaped me into the person I am today.
Amazing.
And even when considering my legal career, it also gave me the skills, the key skills that are needed for a commercial lawyer to succeed, because that's what I'm kneeling towards. So it taught me the meaning of teamwork, how to lead, building commercial awareness, how to strategize, how to analyze, how to negotiate, and how to even just talk, to speak in high pressure environments, just like right now.
You're doing amazing, by the way. You're doing great. You're speaking like I would say, an actual legal representative. Every word is beautifully articulated. I'm like, this guy can speak.
Thank you. But yeah, it's been an amazing experience. We've been definitely getting some recurring advertisement revenue, and it's only the beginning. But to answer your question, sure, we are making money, but this was never the reason why we started. It's just the love and the passion, and we were planning to not even make money for the first 2-3 years. We just want to make content.
Wow.
But it just went so well that it just came to us.
That's a beautiful blessing right there, definitely. And you've been having your ecosystem events as well and all that taking place. So I can just imagine from where you started up until now, how do you feel about yourself right now with the experience you got? You see yourself as a different person, or you still have a lot to go with?
Definitely, it was absolutely priceless, the experience I've got. I've changed in so many levels, from my personality to my character, from my entrepreneurial mindset, and as I told you, even as a commercial lawyer, the different skills I've developed. So I've definitely changed a lot, and it just added so much to me on every different level. And looking back, I'm so glad and I'm truly grateful that Wasan, Abdullah, and myself were able to embark on this great journey.
Wow. Big shout out to your team, that's for sure. You know, and I'm sure it's an amazing team. One day maybe we'll get to meet them right here on the show. So
maybe.
Definitely.
And
so
maybe we can get you on the podcast as well. You're
Why
a good speaker
not?
yourself.
Well, I try, but I can't compete with you. You're pretty much taking all the shining stars. So now, what's the future like? And any last words you'd like to give us, inspiring us?
So our long-term vision, خوش فكرة. Our long-term vision has always been one thing: creating impact. How do we leave our print on the region? Because that's what we exactly want to do, and we want to do that while helping people. Whether that's through motivating them to find their inner entrepreneurial spirit, whether that's educating them about business, whether that's inspiring them through our podcast, or even if we can just make someone have fun whilst learning through a piece of Instagram content. But at the end of the day, we just want to look back and look at everything we've built and all the people we've affected and just smile, knowing that we've been able to go on this great journey and build something amazing that Bahrain can truly be proud of.
Wow. Again, you're an awesome speaker.
Thank you.
Like an actual legal representative. Much appreciated right here. So I guess the next step will be just consume more of your content, I guess.
Yeah.
Just learn the next new thing.
The next new thing, always.
Definitely. Well, so it's been a pleasure and an honor having you with us.
The
here
pleasure
on
is
Bahrain
all
Now.
mine. Thank you so much for having me, Bara.
Definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Khosh Fikra is truly a Khosh Fikra as it took place right here with Badr, right here on Bahrain Now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap for another great episode of Bahrain Now. As usual, be sure to reach out to us on our social media accounts shown below. And stay tuned for more exciting segments on Bahrain Now. This was Bara Abdallah. Till next time, Bahrain. Good night and God bless.